Hey guys, I'm Becca and this is The Sims book tag. This tag was created by Haley from Hales Hearts NYC and I'm a huge Sims fan. Anyone who knows me knows that I have a slight obsession. I'll say slight, but we know it's a little bit more than that. I had all of the Sims 2 expansion packs, all of the Sims 3 expansion packs, and part of the reason that I haven't been reading as much this month is because Sims 4 Dining Out came out, which is an expansion pack where your Sims can not only go out to eat at restaurants, but also own their own restaurants. So for some reason that really appeals to me and I've been playing an awful lot of Sims. This tag has 11 questions, so let's get started. Question number 1 is the original Sims. Choose the best author debut. I'm going with Angel Fall by Susan E. This is the second book, World After, in the Penryn and the End of Days trilogy. I just loved Angel Fall so much. I thought it was an amazing book and I can't wait to continue on with the rest of the trilogy. Question number 2 is the Grim Reaper. One of the biggest things and most sadistic things that you can do in The Sims is kill off your own Sims. And when I was younger, not so much anymore, but definitely when I was younger, I had a bit of an obsession with finding ridiculous ways to kill my Sims. Much like Haley, I would put my Sims in pools and then take the ladders out, or put them in a room and then put a bunch of stoves without a fire alarm until I started a fire, stuff like that. So for Grim Reaper, choose the saddest character death, and I couldn't pick just one, but immediately the book that came into my mind was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling, the 7th and final Harry Potter books. People are dropping left and right, and I don't know if I can pick the saddest one from the entire series. All of the deaths in Harry Potter are just terrible for me. Question number 3 is Sims getting stuck. One of the stupidest things about the Sims game is that whether there's not enough space for the Sim to walk through or there's a plate or cup on the ground, you often have a lot of instances where the Sim just doesn't know how to get to their destination or activity that you want them to do, and they just stand there like, yoo-hoo, how do I walk there? For this question, choose a character that got in the way. For this, I'm going with Eric and the rest of the assisted living staff other than Eve from The Things We Keep by Sally Hepworth. I'm still in the process of reading this book. It's so good, but it just infuriates me that Eric and the rest of the staff is so gung-ho on keeping Anna and Luke, that's right, yep, Luke, apart after an incident occurred. The characters have Alzheimer's, so they're not even going to end up remembering each other in the end anyway. So for their last lucid days, why not just let them have the companionship that they want to have? Question number 4 is Simlish, and that is the language that the Sims speak in the Sims game. So for this question, you're picking a book with amazing writing. I'm going with one of my favorites, which is The Merciless by Danielle Vega. This book is a roller coaster from start to finish, and the imagery that Danielle Vega uses in this book is absolutely phenomenal. You feel like you're there and you don't want to be there because it's absolutely terrifying. I love this book so much. I'm so happy that there's a sequel to it, even though I don't know what in the world the sequel is going to be about. Oh my gosh, I just love this book so much. It's such a thrill. If you haven't picked up The Merciless, I always, hands down recommend everyone to read this book because I freaking love it. Question number 5, expansion packs. As we all know, starting from The Sims all the way now until The Sims 4, there have been numerous different expansion packs, and it always enhances the game no matter what. So for this one, choose a series where each book just kept getting better. I hands down just had to go with Harry Potter, my all-time favorite series, as well as many other people's, by J.K. Rowling, of course. And every time I have to think about my least favorite Harry Potter book, it's such a stretch to even have to pick a least favorite. because even if I didn't like a book, it wasn't my least favorite. Like, I just love every single book in the series so much. It's such an incredible series. Number 6 is Sims Romance. One of the things in The Sims is notorious for is for the romances. You can go from someone being an absolute stranger to being married and possibly even having at least one child within the span of like a couple days. So for this, obviously, choose a book with the worst case of insta-love. And instead of choosing a book, I'm choosing an author, and it is Jandy Nelson. Whether it be I'll Give You the Sun or The Sky is Everywhere, one of the things I hated about Jandy Nelson's writing and plots was the use of insta-love. It really bothered me in I'll Give You the Sun, and the insta-love was so bad in The Sky is Everywhere. That's one of the main reasons I ended up DNFing the book. Question number 7 is cheats. The Sims games would be nowhere without the cheat codes. And for Sims 4, the creators finally got wise and included a series of cheat codes along with the release so that gamers can jump right in with all of their mods and cheating. So for this one, choose a book that was entirely unrealistic. And instead of choosing something that has like a paranormal element or a fantasy element, you should try to stick solely to contemporary and just ones that are just a little too unrealistic. So I chose Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. Even though I love Rainbow Rowell's writing so much, Attachments was probably my least favorite book of hers that I've read so far. I worked in an office, and so a lot of the stuff was really relatable, but the love in this I thought was a little too unrealistic. If you don't know, the main premise of this book is that Lincoln is the IT person for this company, and one of his jobs is to go through other employers' flagged emails to see what they're talking about in the emails. And upon doing this, he starts following the friendship between two women and ends up falling for one of them. I don't know if I would be able to handle a relationship with them because that just seems like such an invasion of privacy. Oh, I did not like that at all. I just thought that it was so unrealistic. Question number 8 is needs fulfillment, and of course all of the Sims have needs, and sometimes they just can't take care of themselves. Even if you have free will turned on so that they are free to roam and care for themselves, they'll still end up passing out from exhaustion, starving from not making themselves something to eat, and peeing themselves. So for this, choose a character who just made all the wrong decisions. And I've talked about this before, even though I love this duology, soon to be trilogy, so much, I have to go with Lara Jean from the To All the Boys I've Loved Before and P.S. I Still Love You duology by Jenny Han. I thought that she was really naive in To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and I just did not like Lara Jean's decision at the end of P.S. I Still Love You. I think that she made the absolute wrong choice, so I'm hoping that in Always and Forever Lara Jean, she'll make some better decisions. Hopefully, I'm still rooting for her in her relationships. Question number 9 is error code 12, which apparently is the code that Haley gets when her game crashes. And I used to have that issue all the time with Sims 2 and 3, especially if I were to go back now that Sims 4 is out and more active and try to play Sims 3. There's a lot more glitches because the developers just aren't keeping up to date with it, so the game crashes a lot, which is super annoying. So for this, choose a series that started off great but quickly went downhill. I had to go with Divergent by Veronica Roth. I absolutely loved Divergent so much. I was so engrossed into the story. It was amazing. Insurgent, I didn't mind it that much, but Allegiant was awful. So there was just really like starting up at the top and then a steep downhill decline as this trilogy went on. Question number 10 is The Sims Vortex. When I sit down to play The Sims, I always have to make sure that I don't have any homework, don't have to do anything soon, because 5 minutes can quickly turn into 5 hours and it doesn't even feel like it. So for this one, choose a book or series that completely pulled you in and engrossed you. 2. I chose 2 for this one. The first one is Remember Me by Sophie Kinsella. I read this when I was on my cruise in February. It was the last day of my cruise and we were having a big beach celebration, and I spent basically the entire afternoon sitting on a chair with my nose in this book, and I just can't believe it. I was in the Virgin Islands in the ocean and I just could not stop reading this book, and time just passed me by. Also, on the plane ride the next day, I finished this book and it didn't even feel like I was flying on the plane. So that is some great writing and a very, very engrossing plot. The second one I went with was The Thing About Jellyfish by Allie Benjamin. I read this book in one sitting. I basically stayed up like all night reading it. It was such a fast read. It only took me a couple hours, but just the way that the book was structured and the story, I couldn't put it down, and I didn't even realize how late I was staying up. This book was so amazing. And question number 11 is, who do you tag? And I'm not going to tag anyone specific for this because I don't know who plays Sims. The only person I am going to tag is Gabby over at The Curious Owl, because she does some bookish videos and some Let's Play videos, and I know that she's currently doing a Let's Play of The Sims, so obviously she plays The Sims, and I think that she would really like this tag. Otherwise, if you love The Sims as much as I do and you have an obsession with The Sims, I tag you to do this book tag. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more bookish videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.